Hi there, this is my first video on YouTube and I was thinking, what can I show? Well, I'm a nature person. I love spending time in the nature, and when I was a kid I used to spend a lot of my time by the Baltic Sea. And I do know quite a lot of hidden places here in the forest, in the nature, and I invite you to go on a journey together and explore those places. Let's go! We are on the beautiful Birutės Kalnas in Palanga. Birutė is a legend. Some call her a goddess, some call her a queen, even though she was not, but she was a mother of the Grand Duke of Lithuania, Vytautas, and people worshipped her. But what is very special about this place that is very old, it has pines that seen centuries of history all around, and it's also where people thousands of years ago settled. Archaeologists found some ceramics dating 10th to 13th century, so we know that the people lived here more than 1,000 years ago. They were choosing this place because of the perfect location. It was on the hill. You could see what is coming from the sea, who's coming from surrounding areas. In the ground level of the Birutės hill stands famous tourist attraction, Palanga Lourdes. It was built in 1899 with a special request from the Tiškevičiai family. This wealthy and influential family that owned the park was visiting Lourdes pilgrimage site in France, where Virgin Mary is said to have appeared to a local woman, and they liked it so much to decide to create a replica of the site here in Palanga. Now I want to show you a very interesting object here in Palanga, next to the Baltic Sea. This is an old Soviet bunker that was built here by the Soviets during the World War II, when they were fighting against the Germans. The Soviets were planning to build around 2,000 of these bunkers in Lithuania. However, they managed to build around 100, and this is one of a few that still remains in Palanga region, although completely abandoned, as you can see. We came to a very interesting place here in the forest by the Baltic Sea. It reminisces the war times when the soldiers were building ditches in the forest to hide, to crawl, and to protect themselves from the enemies. So here's one of the secret ditches here, probably used by the soldiers to change their ammunition to protect themselves from the bullets. And then there's an entrance there that goes right here to the tunnel, all the way across the forest. We are now going to see the hill of Naglis, which is a 15-meter tall dune that was formed in the ancient times, and it was covered by pines. However, only 7 of them remain, as most of them were cut during the World War I. This place was also a sacred place for the pagans. Archaeologists found a lot of fireplaces in the layers of the sand. The pagans used to worship their gods here. So the part of the forest next to the hill of Naglis has something that is not easy to find, but once you find, you really admire the beauty of it. I would call them the dancing pines. Pines made of the different figures. How come it's like that? I don't know. I would just guess that because they have more space, their branches are able to spread out and form interesting figures. There's even one pine that for me looks like a shape of the harp. Why don't we see them? If you are by the Baltic Sea, you definitely have to come to an older forest. One of a forest like that is located between Palanga and Šventoji, and you can just take a bus here or come with a car. You will definitely find peace and quiet here. If you get lucky, you can find some mushrooms if it's the season, and you can also find a piece of Lithuanian folk tradition, rūpintojėlis. Rūpintojėlis depicts Jesus Christ, and in the old folk tradition of Lithuania, they would put this wooden sculpture on the top of the tree. And there is a theory that this tradition comes even before Christianity. House for the hunters. Good that it's not being used, and I hope it won't be. So this is what remains of the former border between Germany and Russia. This is a landmark that used to divide the two countries. Obviously, it no longer exists, but this tiny piece of the landmark, it's still here. And all around us is just forest. This object behind me is definitely not hidden, but if you are in Palanga by the Baltic Sea, you must see it. It's the Amber Museum and the Amber Museum Park. It's just marvelously beautiful here. Thanks for watching this video.